Hey guys, I posted a comment on a site and hit upset evidently one of these little drama queens. Name is Steven something. I can't remember exactly what his last name was. But his comments were, you're for freedom, but you want to bust his balls because of the freedom we have in this country. And what it was one of these First Amendment frauditor sites. You know, freedoms you have in this country. I don't know what freedoms he's referring to because social media can delete your comments, they can delete your account, and they allow certain people to get on there and certain people not to. So it's called censorship. It's not called freedom. And these First Amendment frauditors are nothing but exploiting the Constitution and the First Amendment to make money off of. And all they do is they try to find a reason to sue a business or sue a company or to sue a cop to make money off of. It's nothing to do with First Amendment. It has nothing to do with the Constitution. It has nothing to do with freedoms. That's total BS. And there's one video, a guy actually admits to it. And there's been four of them that have been convicted felons, one with a firearm, three of them's been illegally in this country. Two of them's been arrested for assault. And most of them don't have a business license. Most of them don't pay taxes. And when they file these lawsuits, the working individuals are the ones that's paying for it. And all they do is gaslight people. When this whole First Amendment thing started, I was all good with it until they turned it into a cash crop. Because back then, when it all first started, they were claiming that the reason they were doing it was to educate the public on their rights and their First Amendment. Well, then that went out the window because there's no educating nobody on it. They don't try to educate anyone on it. All they do is try to gaslight people to get assaulted or gaslight people to kick them off their property or get the cops involved in it so they can file a lawsuit that the taxpayers have to pay for. They're not educating anyone. And if you really want to look at it that way and you want to say you're educating the public, then in my book, that makes you a public servant also because you're working for the public. And when you file these lawsuits, you're being paid by the public because it's coming out of everybody's pocket. I was all for this stuff when it first started, and I'm still for the First Amendment. I contact the governors and senators of my state. I contact Congress. I contact the Judiciary Committee. I contact the Supreme Court on a weekly basis on First Amendment, Second Amendment, 14th Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. I do that on a weekly basis. What has these First Amendment auditors done besides go around and stick a camera in somebody's face and try to piss them off? And the worst part about it is I have seen them hit military bases. I've seen them hit churches, schools. I have seen them hit private companies, private individuals, the ones that they say they're there to educate. And there's no education with it. All it is they gaslight them, they get them in an argument, they get them into a confrontation. So here's my question. If you and your family are in Walmart and some guy is taking pictures of your wife, taking pictures of your children, to try to get you into an argument with him, what do? Do you stand there and be a little bitch? Or do you put his ass in his place? When does his First Amendment right become more important to harass you and screw your First Amendment right? Because you don't know what he's doing with those pictures. They could be putting pictures of those kids on a porn site. You don't know what he's doing with pictures of your wife. They could down and out here on some private voyeurism site. And that has happened. So, to me, these people should have to identify themselves and give their tax ID number if they really own a business. Because it's not about education anymore. When it was about education, I was all for it. But it's not about education anymore. It's just about harassing people. Because social media and the laws that we have protect people like that. They protect them from getting their ass beat. And where do you get the freedom in that? You'll stop at a stop sign because a sign tells you to stop. You'll stop at a traffic light because a traffic light tells you to stop. You'll go in and sign up on welfare and you have no problem showing your ID. You'll go in and get a case of beer, you have no problem showing your ID. You'll go in to buy a gun, you have no problem showing your ID. But if a police officer asks you to step back a few feet, you've got a problem with it. If he asks for your name, you've got a problem with it. What you have a problem with is authority. And what you're doing is exploiting the First Amendment for money. And that is what I've got a problem with.